Hey Mark, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
So tell the folks what we're going to talk about today.
Well, we had somebody request what red flags they should be looking for when choosing a realtor.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, and that's what's great about, some comments because it helps us generate some ideas too. And yeah, we always, throw in some things about realtors and stuff like that, some tips, but to do a full video on, help guide someone through the process or her, I think it's going to be a good video to learn from.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, one thing comes to mind is do some research, right? We've talked about it quite a bit, interview two or three people. We've seen people get in trouble or just have a bad experience when they say, oh, use my friend. He's a realtor. Oh, can they use him? And it's a bad experience. So they don't know enough about who they're working with. Do we
Hmm.
know the time? Are they full time? How many years in the business? Like you kind of want to build up a resume and find out some key information. That's what really jumps to me, and not just getting a referral from a friend. If they're the best candidate, by all means, go with them.
Well, you
But
know what a big red flag to me is, and I've had some of my clients get sucked right into it. I guarantee.
yeah, we see that. I guarantee I'll sell your house or I buy it.
No, not only that, I guarantee your house will be sold within 30 days. I guarantee I'm going to get you your $900,000.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
guarantee that's how my client up in Wasaga, right?
yeah. And
You
then
know
there
who it
probably
was,
is.
and she guaranteed a sale. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I said to him, like,
Not,
anybody that guarantees you they're going to sell it and at a certain price, you should
yeah,
be running the other way.
yeah, because that can't happen, right? There's no guarantees. We can give the general public I'm looking at the July stats a bit. Average days on market 28. Sell price to list price 98%. Okay, you can be in with that realm is a good indication, but to sit there without backing it up, right? If you can back it up, by all means, shoot your mouth off. But I know I wouldn't want to make a statement that, strong to say, well, I'll get you 900K on for that property, no problem.
I guarantee I'll have it sold in a
Yeah.
week.
It doesn't happen. So, another one. And another
And
one comes,
anyone that's too pushy.
yeah, there's lots of them. There's lots of them out there today.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive. I like aggressive realtors in a sense that they're aggressive, that they're working for people in an aggressive way, bending, exceeding their expectations. That's what I think is great, but that doesn't always happen, right?
But if
So
they show up to the listing appointment with a listing agreement and try to make you sign it
yeah, I know that happens all the time.
all the time,
Yeah, it's in their
to
bag.
me that's like way overly aggressive.
Hmm? You don't you don't know these people. That's the number one thing. You don't know them. Interview them,
No.
talk to them, have an understanding what they're about. There's so much information that you can get on Realtor State. Look at their Facebook, go to their social media accounts. That's going to tell you a little bit about how they live. Are they family oriented? Are they sitting with, Budweisers every single day in their hands, right? There's lots of things that people could do some research on. And, do they have any violations to RICO? Public can go there and see what's
Yeah,
going.
so I pulled that up.
Pull it up. I think it's really good because a lot of public doesn't know that. And I think this is important.
So you can go up to Rico and it's just rico.on.ca
Yeah.
and you can search for an agent or a brokerage.
Yeah.
So I can put in my name
Yeah.
and it shows I'm licensed as well.
Right. Right.
And
Right. Right.
it shows that I'm holding a current license
Yeah.
and who my brokerage is, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And on Rico, so this shows that, yeah, they actually are who they say they are.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do here is regulatory activities and decisions. So provincial charges, discipline decisions, right?
Okay.
And you can search by year
Okay. So, yeah.
and you
Now,
put in the year,
okay.
search by topic.
Yeah.
You can't search by name.
Okay, but at least the public can go there and go, hey, okay, well, I'm gonna go look through 2024 and see if this realtor, he or she has any discipline actions against them. Because all the names are gonna come up, correct?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see.
No, let's walk through them.
Well, no, the problem is I think I gotta pick something.
All right, pick some
I'm gonna pick something.
topic.
Topic 1. And so
What's a big one?
conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. Another one.
Disclosure of
Disclosure.
offers, that's a good one. Could be a good one.
Oh, disclosure personal interest.
Yeah, yeah. Because some agents don't disclose.
No. Multi-representation.
That is the number one complaint that Rico gets.
So there's 32 results found.
Okay. Here they are,
Here they are.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You click one of them, will it give you the information on it, Dan? Because I don't go on there, but I think this is just more for showing people.
I'm gonna see if I find somebody I know, because then I can I can pick it.
And we picked some really good ones in there that we'll see it. And
Or
there's other,
somebody I've heard of.
right? Does it give you the name? Does it give you the name? I mean, does it give it the, like, if you click one of those? Just because I don't. So registered as a broker, he's registered.
Yeah.
Fine violation order to pay a fine of $23,000 to complete an education course on ethics and business practice. The order relates to Patel manufacturing a document in support of a client's mortgage application that contained false information. The decision can be read here. Bing, let's see this. This is, so right away, he helped in fraudulent mortgage. Real estate council chair against this Patel will say violations of sections 3, 4, 5, 38, and 39 of REBA 2002 Code of Ethics, successful fine of $23,000 payable to Rico on April 4th, 2025. So these are all recent. The
Yeah, I
matter.
wanted to see some.
You're going ahead of me. Go ahead.
No, I just want to see, like,
I want to see what it's about. Because I think it's good to tell this story. If you want to find something, go ahead and find it, and then we'll just go back to it.
mm-hmm. I'm actually just trying to see if they explain it.
They do. You were going so fast that I saw some stuff. So registered the seller A.
But they don't tell you this, eh?
Well, let's just read. I'm going to read some of this. So let's just read it. So seller A and seller B, the sellers were the owners of a property known as, they don't give the street, whatever. On February
They don't
12th,
give the street. They don't
That's
give the names of the sellers or the buyers,
they can.
right?
That's okay. February 28th, 2022, buyer and buyer B also retained services from broker J with Patel and the representative with respect to the purchase of property. The buyers on the same day made an offer which was accepted by the seller, delivered $25,000 deposit. Go down. April 12th, 2022, Patel sent to buyers via email letter in support of the buyer's mortgage process, attesting to the buyers being gifted a $50,000 purchase, gift letter. So let me explain that. Don't scroll up. So
This whole thing is bunk anyway. Keep reading.
I know. I kind of want to explain it a little bit. So this happens a lot where, you know what, where's the down payment coming? Well, it's coming from my grandfather or my mom and dad. So a gift letter's in there, and they want to see they want to see the 50 grand in there. And they want to have supported by this, but there's ways around this. It could be a bullshit easy letter to do if they don't investigate. Gift letter has been pre-filled by Patel containing name signatures, buyer's sister acting as the donor. The buyer did not know the individual name as a donor. So there we go. So he didn't know the donor, nor were they related to the individual name in the gift letter. So fraudulent. Okay, I'm done reading it. I just kind of wanted to go through the nuts and bolts of that. So it's fraud. Nice big fine. What do you think?
But what I don't understand is why. Oh, this had nothing to do with the sellers.
Did he represent? But I think it's just going through. It has to do with the buyer. Just going through, buyer A, buyer B. There's two people on the deal, right? But that's some pretty good information, pretty detailed.
Yeah. So then every time you go back, so like I just got out of there.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and you don't want to go or, you want and,
yeah.
right? And then you want conflict of interest, like pick things,
Yeah,
disclosure.
yeah.
What else?
Multiple representation. That's the biggest one that we could get some most complaints on. So great tools to understand who you're working with. Because I'm telling you right now, folks, interview, 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 interview. Because there is a lot of sharks in those muddy waters, I tell you that much. And look at the names, right? So this is really good. So if they're on that list, great. It's awesome. But there's a lot of people on these lists.
Gosh.
It goes on. That's only 3. Ooh.
Well, I picked different ones this time. Ooh.
Yeah, you said the name there too. We know someone on that list.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we won't go on that one because we like her, but ooh. So
That's what I wanted to see,
yeah,
right? So like that's a very good tool.
it's the best tool. It's great. And I'm glad that the general public can read what happened. Here's why they're being charged. You know, again, that agent put themselves in a real bad position by getting a fraudulent letter for a $50,000 gift letter from so-and-so. Because they're going to want to see it come from so-and-so's account. Oh, it could
Well,
be.
that's why none of it even made sense to me, because the bank, just so people know, the bank wants the money in your account for 3 months, 90 days, and they want to see where it came from. They want to see the other account as well. So
Correct.
bullshitting your way through this isn't going to work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
And the other thing too is that, like, remember when I got a call to go to a listing appointment,
Mhm.
and the guy's only charging him 1% commission,
Yeah.
and he's a part-time realtor.
Don't
Actually,
do part-time agents. Just don't do it. Save
well,
yourself.
yeah, his main business is, I can't remember.
No, it's not real estate.
And the house wasn't selling.
Yeah.
And then, just so people understand, because I'm getting a lot of these people from YouTube. So I guess they're not happy with their choice, but they pick somebody cheap, and cheap isn't always better, people.
Oh,
So then
no.
he calls me there, and I tell him exactly what to do with this house to try to sell it.
Mhm.
Because I said, like, you're not getting showings. He says, what would you do? So I go there for nothing.
Yeah, it's the game.
I give my advice. You think he's called me back, Mark?
No, but that's the business that we're in, right?
Yeah,
Look-
just so people realize that we do, and I wish you probably don't even know off the top of your head how many hours you've spent with people either on the phone or in person for nothing.
It's part of the business. So I really don't get mad at that, right?
I'm
I
not
know.
getting mad at that. I'm explaining to people that real estate agents don't get paid, right? Unless something actually sells or gets
Mhm.
purchased,
Mhm.
right? So the thing is, if you're having a hard time and you're not getting what you need from the person that you hired, then get rid of them.
Well, it's simple. And okay, to that point, you just gonna lead to something. And don't, so get rid of them, yes. But what happens if they're in a 6-month contract? A year.
Next
Yeah.
red flag.
Next red flag. So that's I'm glad you led into that because that's a real big one. I wouldn't go no more than I'd go 60 days. I'd go the minimum. See what type of working relationship they can get going with him or her and see how the dynamic goes.
I do
Right?
the same thing. I do 60 days, which is the minimum we can do.
Yeah.
And if there's issues, I don't hold anybody. There's another thing. I tell people right up front, I don't hold anybody to a contract, Mark. If
No.
they don't want to work with me, they're out. I'll let you go.
That's right. That's right. And that's important, right? Because Some people don't click, and then some agents will also just take the listing. I think as a realtor too, we need to find out what the motivation is to sell. Well, you know what, I'm getting transferred, or, you know, we need a bigger home because my wife's pregnant. We're downsizing, right? And find an agent that understands the market. So I think you should go to screen share and kind of show some data, some numbers. So be
Hold
trans.
on, I wanna expand on what you just said. I had a client that was listed with me and it was priced too high. He didn't want to lower it. But he says, I just want to test the market right now. And I said, okay. So then he ended up going with another realtor. He sent me the listing agreement to look at to make sure he wasn't getting ripped off.
I wouldn't have done it because you're interfering. I wouldn't have done that. I would have found.
So she actually called him while it was still listed with me, but she made him sign a 6-month contract. And I told him, she's going to beat you down on the price. She guaranteed the sale.
Sure.
And she's going to beat you down on the price.
Yeah.
Every 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to drop it till it's sold. So I said, I can do that for you right now. You want to do that? No. Okay. But you know, he's going to do it with somebody else.
100%.
Like, you want somebody that's honest, that's not tricking you into signing some long-term agreement that now you're stuck in. And 3 or 4 months in, you're going to be lowering the price just to get the hell out because you're sick of
3 or
it.
4 months, but way too long. 3 or 4. If it isn't sold in the first 3 weeks, or interest falls off, you need to react. 3 or 4
Yeah.
months is too late. It's too late, right? It has to be, you know, as we
No,
know.
what I mean is that if he is adamant on the price, he's like, if she has a 6-month window, so they lowered a little bit, they did. And then it sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there, but she has time to work on him. She's got 6 months and he's getting frustrated. So let's just lower it and get it gone. Do you see what I'm saying?
That happens, or flip the flip side of the coin is where, okay, didn't sell, thanks very much, take care, of the contract expires, and they get someone in and they communicate what the price should be. So all the heavy lifting and frustration is between seller and then agent A is done. All the agent A has done all the work, heavy lifting, as I said, and gone through pain and misery in a sense. And then now agent B comes in and gets a listing and prices, and it's gone in a week. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
Price it right the first time. Don't fool around. This is not a market that let's go testing. Because if I was at a listing appointment and someone goes, you know what? I think our house is worth $950, and I'm struggling at $780. Thanks very much. It was great meeting you people. I'm not your agent, but I know you'll find an agent that will take that listing. I'm not taking your business. I'm not doing it.
Well, yeah, and
Do
if
that.
you're gonna go with just, if you talk to 2 or 3 agents and you're gonna go with the one that just does what
Highest
you
number.
want,
Highest number, we'll give you we'll get you 968 for this house, or 980, 100%, and not backing it up. You got to be transparent. You got to show them, and theirs becomes time invested, right? It takes time to get a presentation together, go through comparables, go through active. Look, it could be 90 minutes. You don't, a lot of people don't want to spend 90 minutes, but I'm telling you, they should spend 90 minutes. They should be going over that data so they have a really good understanding what's going on, right? When we look at our spreadsheets that we communicate to the viewers by month, by year, that's good data. That's hard data to say, hey, here, the market's doing this. No, the listings are down 26% in transactions. No, the price points are down 2% from year over year. Boom. Where's the most inventory? Oh, $1 million and over. Is it selling? No, it's 5% of the market that's in that category. There's 194 listings sitting collecting dust. That's good information that people should respect and understand the market.
How about the guy that drives up in the suit and the Jaguar with his hair slicked back?
You know, I mean, I think everyone has their own style, and I'm not opposed of that. I mean, I think there's, you know, I'm not opposed of it. It doesn't bug me. Hey, bring your Lamborghini. Anything.
Well, my thing is,
I don't think
the
I'm
only
wrong.
red flag I see about it, Mark, I don't care what people drive. If they have the money to go buy a Lamborghini, more power to them.
Mhm.
I have no problem with that. The problem that I have is those people, like there's a couple of them around town, and those people are more worried about outside appearance than necessarily how they're doing their job. So you
Well,
have to
that's the
worry
case.
about, you have to worry about the people are just so worried about how they're being perceived. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, but I think in today's society, today's world, no one cares. But realtors just think it's all about the image, and a lot of them do, and they gotta have the big fancy cars, and that's okay. Hey, that's okay. A lot of them play the part very, very well. That's okay. But I don't play that part. That's just not me. But if I'm going to a person's house that I don't know, the suit's on. Or this, I shouldn't say that. The suit's on when I get a call and say, can you come over and give me an evaluation 3 days ago? I mean, in say next Wednesday. Okay, how do you find me? YouTube, like dressed down, casual, because they already know me. We saw on YouTube, we watch all your videos, we like your approach. Okay, great. So I can be really comfortable and not overdo it in a way. But sometimes it's just, a pair of jeans and a nice button-down shirt and a nice pair of dress shoes. Great. Sometimes it can be a shorts and t-shirt, depending. Hi, I'm over here working at the house. Just come over. Okay, I got shorts on. Oh, great. Who cares? Okay.
Well, my thing is, I think you need to feel somebody, you feel a connection with somebody.
100%.
Like usually when you go in there and you talk to people, you feel if somebody is connecting with you and trust what you're saying.
100%.
And a lot of times, like I know these realtors where they have a script.
Oh, for sure.
They say the same thing to every single person.
So,
So
but
it's not genuine. You got to make sure that this person's being genuine with you and you can trust them.
yes, to that point, yeah. And they've been successful, some with the scripts and because they've had history of doing it, but not everybody buys into that. Someone wants goddamn honest feedback, and when someone's scripted, they can't, it's got to stick to the script. They can't give it, or they don't feel like they're making a connection. They don't feel genuine, right? Oh,
Yeah.
we do $1.5 million on marketing. We do this, we do that.
I've
No,
sold
that's for the
50
agent
homes.
brokerage.
Yeah, we've
Not
sold
for
50
you.
homes this month.
Yeah,
And
great.
we get over asking and we get this and we get that. The
Right.
problem is, half of it's crap. Like, did they actually list way below value?
I know. It's all
You know,
smoke.
and how many people are on the team to sell 50 or 40?
Oh, I agree. It's not that hard.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, man, that people get sucked into.
Chris. Just my best thing, pick the agent that's going to work well for you and do the best job and exceed your expectations. Bang. That's it. It's easy. Because you know what we're lacking in this industry today is we're lacking integrity, ethics, and work. Agents don't do either of them. Some of them don't. And I don't care. I'll call them out. I love calling people out when they do a shitty job. I think it's great. Call them out.
When I was at my clients last week and we had people there doing moving and doing stuff, one guy asked me what I was driving. And I said that Toyota CHR over there. And he's like, oh, well, my friend drives this, I don't know what it was, Jag or Porsche or whatever. And I said, well, he's a snake. Did you know that? And he goes, well, you're all snakes. And I said, no, buddy, I hate to tell you, we're not.
So when you're saying that, Diane's referring to someone who we know. We will not mention that name.
I'm not going to say the name.
Just
No,
want
but my point is the people sitting there said, you're all snakes, aren't you?
that's the industry that we're in, because the general public has been screwed so many times and have so many bad experiences. We get all kinds of comments all the time from, and phone calls from people all the time saying this agent came in and it got recommended by my wife's work and came in. This is a true story I'm telling. Came in and said, I can get you $1,265,000. Long story short, they got 960 for it. 5 months later, worst experience ever, made decisions based on that agent being factual, right? They're the experts, not me. Okay, if that's what you can do, great. It didn't work out favorably for those sellers, and they bought. We talked for 2 hours. There's a lot of bullshit out there. You got to sniff through the bullshit. And
That's my whole point. That was my whole point. I'm not saying the perception of the general public is because you're driving this or you're doing, you know, you're doing a lot of deals or whatever, you must be a snake, you know what I mean, to be making that kind of money. And
not
like,
all, not all though.
no, they're not.
Not all. There's some really good agents driving some, whatever. It doesn't matter what drive, but there's some really good agents that do extremely well in this community that work hard, service the crap out of their clients, good reputation, like doing business with them, go, beyond and above. Why
And
not?
not all of them are hard sellers. Like we
No,
know
no.
a lot of people, a lot from C21 come to my mind when we work there that are really good down to earth people and
Do a lot of business. They're great people, professional, and then we love working with them. We like working with them because we have relationships with them. They're good people. They're honest and they're ethical, and they
and
want
they
to do.
do a shit ton. Like they're, you know what I mean? They do. They do very, very well,
Great.
but they're actually good people.
100%, 100%. Right. So that's the
I
thing.
don't want
And
to say the names, but there was just a few that were popping up into my
I know
mind, and
who
I
you're
was
talking
like,
about. I agree. I don't disagree. I'm in your camp with that. I agree 100%. I think you're dead on the money. And then, another thing that people should really consider is I'm really big on, working with local agents. And I'm not saying this so you call me. I'm saying this because it's important. They know the market, they know what's going on, they know the neighborhoods, they know the community, they know the issues, they know the best schools, they know this. They have great connections.
mm-hmm.
So, and in our game, in our business, it's been flooded with Toronto agents doing business up here for the last 15 years. And it's, mainly dominated by out of town agents doing listing on the listing side and on the buying side. I'm telling you right now, on the listing side, the market's a mess. The pricing is screwed up. Why? Well, either it's the sellers or the agents. That's it. There's no other, and I'm leaning to both in a way, but if it's priced properly from the first time, as I always said, it sells relatively well. And maybe they're so used to saying, oh my God, this in Richmond Hill would be 2.3 million or whatever. Oh my God. And 995, and really it's an 850.
Yeah,
So
and not only that, like
back it up with comps. Best thing we can show you, not paper comps, go through the pictures. Look at days on market, pull up the history on it. It's important to do that. You
Mark,
should
look at that guy did his own open house.
yeah, which is, yeah, yeah, but I don't want to get into that story too much because
No, I know.
yeah. Who would let their client do an own open? The agent let his client host his own open house. Suicide. Never do that, folks. If you get representation,
In the
you
garage.
presenting you. That's the biggest terrible thing.
Well, but that's because the guy doesn't want to drive here, right? It's because they don't want to take the time. They don't want to come up here to do a showing. They don't want to come up here and deal with things.
Yeah.
And I remember a couple years back, I had a client looking in Innisfil. Oh my gosh, they used to come up every weekend and drive around. And she called me, Diane, how much is this one on this street? And I look, well, it's sold. No, it's not sold. And I'm like, yeah, it's sold. This is what it's sold for. I get another call 10 minutes later, Diane, how about this street? And I'm like, no, that's sold too. They don't drive up here to put the sold sign up, right?
Seen it.
Who's going to drive an hour to stick a sold sign on the top? So they don't. And then
Right.
everybody's driving around.
Right. Pull up this, pull up that. Yeah. And the thing
Thinking
like
they're
that
still for
too
sale.
is when you buy as well, we never get walkthroughs on our listing. No one's doing final walkthroughs. We've talked about that numerous times. No one's doing it.
No.
So if you're using an out-of-town agent, you make sure that you bring them up. They do business, they're getting paid well up they're getting paid well. Do a final walkthrough, folks. Demand it. You need to do a final walkthrough. Who cares if the house was all great and you looked at it, last week or whatever, a month ago? You need to do a final
You
walkthrough.
got to do a final walkthrough, test
So
everything.
important. Test all the appliances, look at everything. Is the home in still the shape that you saw? Is there gouges on the floors? Are light fixtures changed out? Are the carpets soiled and ripped? Like there's so much things to do. You don't want to walk into that on closing day.
Exactly.
Once it's done, you're never getting anything back. You can write 10 million letters, nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think we covered up enough. I think we gave, thanks for pulling the RICO stuff up. I think that's the most informative piece. And
I
just,
wish you could sort through just by putting the name and see if they have something
yeah, I
against
know.
them.
I know. Show them all. Show it. We need to stop safeguarding this information. We need to share it information, not
Well, and
safe.
that's public information I just showed everybody.
It is. Anyone go do it. So there's lots to do. Anyone has any questions on the Barrie real estate market, Simcoe County, reach out to myself or Diane, and we're
Hit
on
the
this.
like, share, or drops a comment.
Okay, see you. Enjoy the night.
See ya, you too.